So you've made it to Adelaide. How is it so far?
Boiling hot.
Roasting hot.
But good, isn't it? What a lively, looks like it's going to be a really lively festival.
Yeah, starting to get really excited. So getting busy.
Fantastic. Now you guys are really busy. You've actually got 2 shows here and running from garden to garden.
Yeah, basically. On the weekends I have to do this one and then nip to the other garden. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So how are you going to handle it all, especially the weekend, the busy weekend?
Got a bike, haven't we?
Just picked up some bikes today, yeah.
I'm just going to, I don't know, there's a gap in between. This show between us 2 is quite intimate, quite quiet, like quite emotional. My other show is really raucous and kind of fun and silly. So I have to kind of like go from one mode to a different mode.
It's fun still, if I get to
it's fun, yeah.
And so tell us about this show here at the Royal Croquet Club.
So the show at the Royal Croquet Club is called Fake It Till You Make It. It charts the history of Tim's mental illness. He's got chronic depression, he's had it for 8 years. He hid it for about 7 until I found his tablets. I'm his fiancée, we're a real life couple. And the show is basically about that, isn't it? About how we cope with mental illness in a relationship, how being a man isn't always conducive with how we talk about mental health. It's based around a series of recordings between him and I in our lounge, but it's also peppered with songs and silly dances and stories.
Yeah, it's just us on stage basically expressing our life and how we deal with mental illness and how the stigma and taboos around mental illnesses should be abolished, especially when it comes to men, because blokes just don't talk about this sort of thing. And it's not doing us any favours, because it's making men even worse, making them even more ill, and the suicide numbers are getting out of control now in the UK and Australia. So it's a subject that needs to be spoken about.
In a fun way, like it needs to be spoken about in a way that doesn't make it so terrifying.
Definitely. So has this show helped you guys as a partnership, and do you hope it will help, other people as well? And also, like you said, have a laugh and
yeah, it's helped us as a couple, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's acted as kind of, at least the process of making it has acted as some kind of therapy. We hope that it's become less like that on stage, because art as therapy is kind of quite self-indulgent. So we hope that we've kind of dealt with our stuff, and now we're kind of presenting our story as a hopeful story, a love story. A love story, which is what we say at the beginning of the show. Sorry, this is a love story, it's gross. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Like, Tim quit his job in advertising 3 months ago. He's not a performer. He's a performer now. He's an artist now, aren't you?
I'm trying, yeah.
So it means we can spend every day together, which is really good for mental health, or bad for mental health, depending on what kind of day it is.
I mean, it's just good as a couple. Like, any couple will enjoy working. I mean, couples don't work together that often, it's just in different industries or what have you, and you only get to see each other a couple of hours a night. But it's been a nice welcome change that we get to actually spend some time together
in Australia
and work together. Yeah.
Definitely. So what are you sort of hoping for, I guess, at the end of the show, and what do people say when they come up to you as well?
God.
We've had in Perth. We've had because we've just done a run in Perth, and we had a great response. So we've had all sorts. We've had everything from like a 15-year-old girl who's suffering from mental illness to like a 45-year-old big butch man with a beard come and cuddle me in tears and saying thank you very much for that. And it's something that needs to be spoken about, and he feels comfortable now expressing his own mental illness.
I think we hope people have had fun, and that they've sort of been navigated through quite a tough subject, but in safe hands. There is tears, but I think they're hopeful tears, and that you've had fun whilst going through that cathartic process.
It's just raw, because people appreciate the fact that we're just talking about all the stuff that everyone just shoves under the carpet. So we're just basically exploding all the worries and taboos about talking about mental health on that stage. So I think people feel that it allows them to do the same. Do you know what I mean?
and it's sort of what you call your art, it's real theatre, or we hear reality a lot, don't we? But
I think some people seem to call it documentary theatre. In England we call it autobiographical performance, but then sometimes I get called a stand-up, sometimes I'm an entertainer. Like, don't expect it to be a play, it's just us two telling a story, and messing about and being in love and arguing and dancing
and being in our pants quite a lot,
which is good in this heat.